Welcome to Lesson 6. Lesson 6, we're going to do a E major blues progression, 12-bar blues progression. And we're going to break this lesson up into three pieces. Oh, first of all, the 5A lesson had a printout. You can print out a 12-bar blues progression, what the pattern of the chords are, if you want to follow along that way. But you can play this differently. There are a lot of variations of blues progressions. They're not all the standard layout in terms of the pattern of the chords. So in lesson 5A, there's that printout of the PDF. You can print it out. That lesson was on a blues progression in A major. This is E major. Okay, so we're going to break this lesson into a few parts. We'll do an introduction, and I'll show you how to play the introduction, a nice blues introduction. And then we'll do the progression. I'll play that, and then I'll show you how to play the little fills in there and little riffs. And then I'll have a separate section which I'll break down the pattern of the chords for the blues progression, a 12-bar blues progression, in case you're having trouble with that. But again, you don't have to play it exactly that way. You could play it differently. So that said, let me play an introduction for you, and then what we'll do is we'll explain how to play it. So what I did there was I'll move the camera to a closer camera. So I did an E chord, E major chord, downstroke, then just upstroke a little bit, try to pick up that E note, the high E, just to help us, introduce us to this intro. And the intro is the second fret of the B string, and then the open E, and then the two highest strings, the E and the B. It's 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, right? 3, 2, open, 3, 2, open, and then on the G and the D strings, it's 2 open, 2 open, and then on the A string, it's not 2 open, it's 2, slide down to 1, which is the blues note, then open, and then the third fret on the low E, and then you bend that. See if you could pull it. Get some microtones, and then open. So that's really the intro. Now, this is you have the E minor pentatonic scale here we're playing with. But by adding these two notes here at the second fret, those two notes are in the E major scale. So we're mixing E major with E minor, and it gives it that extra little interesting flavor and that sort of extra dissonance. So that's the introduction. All right. Now we'll play the progression, and then there's a couple of little fills in there, and I'll show you how to play those. Okay, so the intro ends with that bend, and then we've got the E chord. Okay, so that's basically it. So what did we do here? We did an E chord, and then this little fill here was the third fret on the B and E, and then open, and then the fourth on the G and the third on the B, and then the second fret on the G and B, and then open. So it sounds like this. Actually, I don't do open. I guess I go. So I'm really doing the third fret, open, fourth and third, G and B, and then the second fret on the G and B, and then I hit the low E string here. I guess you could leave. You could do it either way. You could hit these two strings open. You could go, or you could go. Do it either way, and I guess I alternate from time to time on how I'm playing it. So that's that. Then we had the walk up, right? So we did this, and then we did the walk up, open E, low E string, and then F sharp, G, G sharp. So E, F sharp, G sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp. Next note, guess what, is A, right? So the next note we're going to play is the A chord. So it is a walk up right to the A chord. And then on the A chord, I did some double stops. If you could hold down the two middle strings, you know, the D and the G, at the second fret, and then hit the F, hit the fourth fret, you get double stops, two notes at the same time. If it's too hard, just do individual notes, okay? So we've got that, we've got this little fill, the walk up, and then the A, back to the E. And then we go to the, do that little same little frill again, and then we do the B, B flat, A, E, B, A. And then we did this little ending on the fourth of the G and the third of the B. So it's the fourth and third, the third and second, the second and first, right? And you can play the first, you know, the first fret of the G is part of the E chord. Just play the whole chord. You can play that one note. You can play the whole chord. Either way, it sounds good. And the other thing you can do is you could also end a little fuller. You could take a D7 chord, which is the first fret of the B and the second fret of the G and E. Take that D7th and bring it up to the fourth fret, and then just bring it down one fret at a time and just strum them down. It's another ending, right? And then chimes, you know, chimes are kind of fun. You can throw them in at the end of any song where the 12th, the 7th, and the 5th frets, you can chime, and you don't press the fret down heavily like you would play if I want to play a high E, I press the fret down hard. But if I just rest my finger on the fret, not in front of the fret, but on the fret, and then strum down and lift my finger up just a fraction of a second later, you get these chimes. It's kind of nice little effect. So that's so we talked about the intro, explained how to play the intro. We played the whole progression, explained some of the riffs in the progression. And the only other thing I want to say is that on the 12-bar blues progression, you know what the bars are basically. If it's not that clear, you do some strumming. You're going to have 4 bars for the E when you start out. So the 4 bars are going to have 4 beats each. So you're going to have, that strumming is basically 4 beats for that first bar, right? Then the second bar is, that's the third bar, and then the fourth bar is the walk up. I'm sorry, bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and bar 4 is the walk up, right? Then you're gonna have 2 bars for the A chord, some strumming here for a bar. Then the little picking is another bar. So now you got your 2 bars for the A. Then you're going to have a bar for the E, another bar here. Right, so you got your 2 bars in, 1 bar for some strumming. This is the second bar. Then you've got you need a bar for the B, and that bar is going to have 4 beats like all the bars. But here, each beat is going to be a little bit different because you're going to have a B flat, an A twice. So you have 1 beat, second beat, third beat, fourth beat, and back to the E. Then back to the B, and back to the E, and then the ending. So in case you're not sure how that fits into 12 bars, but you can change the bars up a bit. But after a while, you hear the 12-bar blues progression. It sort of comes naturally. You don't even have to think about it. You kind of know when the chords are going to change because you kind of have such a you get to internalize the beats and the measures, and you can kind of feel when the chords are going to change next. But that takes some time to get there, to be intuitive about it. But anyway, I hope this lesson helped, and then see you at the next lesson. Have fun. Bye.